Screwed up, but we'll deal with it. Hello everybody, I'm Wright. I'm the founder of Soul Power LLC, and our company is addressing the issue of a dying or dead cell phone battery while you're on the go. So if you're indoors and this happens, you're running low on charge on your phone, it's easy enough to find an electrical outlet to plug in or borrow somebody's charger, but the real issue is when you're on the go outdoors, that it's more of a problem to charge up your device. So there's a lot of competition out there for personal charge devices that in many cases you have to remember to plug in and charge up ahead of time. Then you need to actually remember to bring them with you. There are grid charging stations in bars, malls, restaurants, and airports, but in many cases they monetize through the end user, charging $2 to $3 for 15 to 20 minutes of charge. They also don't offer a safe and secure charging option. And then some solar stations have popped up, some competitors of ours moving to the outdoors to provide charge. But again, these stations are either large and expensive to manufacture, which makes distribution challenging, or they're smaller and they have minimal charge capacity, so they can only handle a couple of devices at the same time. So with that, we decided to develop our very own solar-powered charging station. And it's in the back corner there. Many of you probably saw it when you came in. It's running now. And this station is 100% solar powered, so we're not limited to locations with existing electrical outlets like many of our competitors. We have universal charge adapters, which allow us to charge nearly any make or model of phone, from Apple devices to Androids. We have individual lockers, so the end user has a resettable locker combination that they can program in, offering safe and secure charging. Our backup battery system allows us, like now when there's no access to sun, to charge at night or in cloudy conditions. The charge time is equivalent to that of plugging into the wall with a factory charger that came with your device. And best of all, we're free to the end user in all instances. So we monetize our stations through on-station advertising, getting ad sponsors to put their ads on the station and offering that charging service for free to the end users. And the value proposition that we create is that device users are attracted to our station, they plug in their phone, get a charge, and then they come back to retrieve it later, creating a boomerang effect, which significantly increases advertising exposure for our advertising partners. So the station's really easy to use. Some of you kind of checked it out beforehand, but you simply select a locker, you open it up, plug in your phone to the correct charge cord, you set a 4-digit combo, lock it up, and that's it. So feel free after the presentations to come over and check it out. It's pretty easy to use, and we accept just about any kind of device into the station. To date, we have a station that's launched up at St. John's Prep School in Danvers, Massachusetts. We partnered with Alex Nani and have done some outdoor venues at music festivals and concerts, and we have a number of upcoming events that we're partnering with to have our stations placed. There are a whole different bunch of locations where we can place our stations, and we see tremendous market potential in outdoor shopping centers, college campuses, towns, playgrounds, restaurants with outdoor shopping areas or outdoor seating, ski resorts, a whole different bunch of different locations in the U.S. alone. And then long-term expansion, these stations would really be key for government defense contracting on forward operating bases and military installations, disaster relief following things like Hurricane Sandy, and then developing countries with intermittent power grids, parts of South America, Africa, India, anywhere where you have either no access to the grid or you have intermittency in your access. And that's pretty much it. I just end with the ask from the audience is that we are just getting rolling here, getting our first revenue in, and we're seeking interested companies that are looking to either advertise on our stations or looking to place our stations at their venues or their locations. So if you or anyone you know have those kind of connections, I'd love to talk to you after the event. And if you don't, I'd still love to talk to you after the event and talk to you about our stations or anything that, any other questions that you have. So that's it for my spiel. I'll open up to questions if anyone has them in the audience. Yes?
What sort of barriers have you encountered in terms of places to put your stations? Like, I understand festivals would see that as being definitely convenient, but like a hotel lobby or something like that, clearly if you were advertising on the station, you'd be excited about it, but what's your pitch to a hotel or a restaurant that would be looking to add a station like that?
Yeah, so especially for the restaurant example, if you're a small mom and pop restaurant, it's a differentiator between the small mom and pop restaurant across the street or across town. So it's a draw to get people into your restaurant because they can plug in their phone. If you're stopping in to get a quick bite to eat, a sandwich or a burrito or something like that, 15 to 20 minutes of charge will allow you to get 5 or 10% on your phone plugging into our device. So it's a way for you to differentiate in that way. It's also a way, if we do a revenue share, we can bring in outside advertisers to advertise on the station and subsidize the cost, or even bring in additional revenue for that placement. So that's kind of our sell in that case. And then in the case of the hotel, it's more of a convenience thing where you're enabling charging for the hotel guests and allowing them access to a convenient charging option, say while they're at the pool or sitting in an outdoor seating area, versus having to run back up to their room or plug in behind the desk in front.
I have a follow-up question to that, if that's okay. So if a station is inside of a hotel, how can you be sure that it's getting enough sun to power up?
Yeah, so we place our stations primarily outdoors. We can separate the panel from the station and run a cord to wherever we need to. So we can place the station, for instance, on the outside of the building and run the cord inside if need be. But really where we're getting the most traction and the most interest are from rentals at outdoor fairs, festivals, concerts, things like that, where we're having stations at an outdoor location with plenty of access to the sun. So we have a lot of questions here.
Are you planning on making one version of it that just plugs in without the solar option at all? Because just the whole locker charging thing is pretty cool by itself.
Yeah, so there's a lot of competition around that in bars, malls, restaurants, and airports that have that option already. So we're one of the few that's actually venturing outside, especially with the locker system. So we're starting there. We may in the future venture indoors, but we really want to develop our market outdoors first, get the revenue stream going, and then look at potential other applications. Yes. Yeah.
What happens when you forget your number?
Yep, so we have a master key. When the stations are deployed with a rental, we have an attendant who lets the end user in. They just ask for your cell phone number. They verify that your phone is buzzing or ringing or going off to make sure that it's yours, and then they give it back to you. In the permanent placement model, we give keys to the local facilities or maintenance guys, and you can call them at pretty much any hour. That's what we have going on right now up at St. John's Prep School. Their facilities department responds if someone locks themselves out. So, yes.
Very interesting idea. What sort of competitive barriers do you have?
Yep, so we have, so as I said, most of our competition is indoors right now. The barriers aren't particularly high to entry. We don't have a whole lot of IP around our station. It's a matter of execution and a matter of choosing the right business model. Most of our competition is focused on monetizing through the end user, and we're one of the first to really go through advertising as the primary revenue driver. And so it's really a matter of execution in this marketplace. Yes.
How long does it take to make a profit?
Yep, so 7 days of rental is a break even per station. So, yes.
It seems like there's a lot of competition in this market, but is the focus only on smartphones? Is there any need for other appliances?
So we have an earlier model did both cell phones and tablets, so we can do tablets if need be. But we found that especially at outdoor venues, people either didn't need to charge their tablet because it wasn't, the battery life was fine. They have typically a longer battery life, and they also didn't feel the need because if they get in a pinch, they can just convert over to their cell phone and use that, which is the primary driver for GPS to get home and texting and calling.
So yeah, I was thinking more outside the realm of personal devices, thinking more like industrial applications.
Sure. Yeah, so at this point we don't have a whole lot planned on the industrial side, but there's some potential opportunities there, but really we're focused on the smartphone market to begin with. So yes and that.
Could you put this on a truck of sorts, like a food truck?
Yep, you could, absolutely.
Does wireless charging exist yet, or is it in the future?
In the future. So we're working to integrate magnetic inductance pads if that kind of takes off, but the end user has to have the pad themselves. And then magnetic resonance is kind of the next step beyond that we're watching closely, but that technology is a few years away. And I think I'm out of time for questions, so thank you all very much, and I'll stick around afterwards.
Come join New England's largest technology meetup, sponsor an event, present, or attend. Visit www.bostonnewtech.org.